Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Teen Wolf. This episode 8 of season 4. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the series so far. Last episode was definitely interesting. So we're carrying on with these people trying to kill them. We've obviously had the silent assassin, the guy without a mouth who's come in, and his episode was decent. You know, it was unexpected at the start. Then we've had the orphans introduced, you know, Violet and Garrett, and they've been killed. And now obviously we had somebody else coming in, infiltrating the school, pretending to be a teacher, and he managed, you know, very cleverly to infect pretty much every single person in the school, humans and supernaturals. Now, the thing for the humans is it was just a small little thing, so obviously it looked like it was really bad, a virus that was taking them all out. You know, they all had to be quarantined. But after a few hours, they healed themselves, and obviously the supernatural stayed in a bad state. He was trying to find them. Obviously, Scott Styles, Lydia, and not Lydia, sorry, Scott Styles, Malia, and obviously Kira, they decided to obviously remove themselves from the school because they can't control the transitions and they didn't want to hurt anybody, but also they didn't want to be in the firing line for somebody who could possibly come and kill them. So they figured out that downstairs in the basement, you know, where obviously the Hale's vault is, that they could get inside from the school side. All they had to do is put the claws into one of the things, the keys, and open it up. That's what Malia done, and he went inside. Now, what's interesting is obviously Malia still doesn't know that she's a Hale, and Styles and Scott have been flickering on whether to tell her or not for a long time, and they've obviously swayed on the side of not telling her. Now, obviously, she knew they was holding something from her this episode, but she thought that they was just holding the fact that her name was on the list. She asked how much it was, you know, like, is against her, the bounty, and they said 4 million. She was like, all right, that's Sal, mate. Scott's worth 25 million, Kira's worth 6, I'm worth 4. That means I'm going to be the third on the list to come down. They're going to go after you before me, which is really interesting. But this infection, mate, went after him real bad. You know, it got them all like bleeding from the fingers and their eyes and the mouth, and it stopped them. It pretty much started impairing the vision. You know, Styles left because he had to go back up into the school because people was getting suspicious where all of them gone. Obviously, he had to show that they were still there. So as he went upstairs, she was left downstairs on her own with Styles' jacket. Inside that jacket is the name of the list, and hers is on there, Malia Hale. Now, what's interesting is when she opened the list, her eyesight had gone, she couldn't see it. Luckily for her, well, at the time, luckily for Styles and Scott. Now, what was really interesting, I love it when we tie old storylines into the present, you know. Scott uses infrared sight after losing his sight to look and find a cure that was inside the basement. You know, Deaton, using all his amazing knowledge with the help of one of the old wolves, you know, found out that there was some sort of cure to this, and it was some sort of herbs or something. And Derek said that he had some obviously down inside his, you know, his vault. That is where Scott was there. Styles relayed that information, and he found it by changing his eyesight. Yes, his human eyesight had gone, but no, his wolf eyesight was still there. And it was referenced obviously last season that Deucalion had more ways to see than one, and he's not always blind. And that is what he was talking about. He was blind in his human form, but not blind in his wolf form. And I do love it when we tie stories back into the old season. This is where obviously I'm saying that last episode, well, the Berserkers pretty much, they're in this season, aren't they? But like I said, I watched one of the episodes from season 3, and Chris referenced it to Derek. He was talking about Berserkers and how they was made, and all this stuff in last season, and we kind of brought them in. I like it. We're tying storylines in from seasons before using information that was given out. Also, what's interesting is Peter, like I said, Peter's name's not on the list, and maybe Styles was referencing that he might be the benefactor. You know, we don't know who it is. We're still guessing. We're throwing all names all over the place. And because he's not on the list, why, mate? You think he'd be one of the main targets. You'd think that Peter Hale would be a lot of money, and how's he got himself off that list, mate, and who's writing it? And obviously that's what said Styles, mate. He didn't want to tell Malia this because he doesn't know how she's going to act, and he doesn't know who's actually sending these names out. Very interesting. But when Scott did manage to get the cure and help them all back in the you know, back in the basement, she managed to read that list. She's seen that she's a Hale. Styles went over to try and console her. She stood up. She kind of like pushed him out of the way, and she walked off, mate. She's having none of it. She wants to be on her own for now. So it's well interesting. I'm obviously loving Styles and Malia together. I don't want their relationship to be ruined, but I understand where she's coming from, that she's kind of pissed that they withheld this information, because it is a big part of her self that she's missing. And you know, having them not disclose it, you probably feel that you've been lied and let down to, and obviously she doesn't like that. So again, very interested to see where this goes. Can't wait for today's episode. I really hope we find out who the benefactor is soon. Hopefully you guys do enjoy today's video. If you do, please smash the like, really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump in to episode 8 of season 4 of Teen Wolf. Oh, is he seeing her? Oh, is she there? I thought she wasn't there a minute ago.
Yeah, I can't sleep unless I'm in the middle.
Then we spoon.
I can spoon. I can't sleep though.
He's getting that dead arm real fast.
You might want to fall asleep.
Told you. 1 second.
I think this is good.
Alright, he's dreaming. He's missing it. Alright, he's missing it.
Assailant armed with sound suppressor equipped Walter P88. Having heard the perpetrator's threat and countdown, determining the danger to be imminent, I felt no choice but to respond with the use of deadly force. I might have to miss the first game of the season.
It's no big deal.
Oh, it is to me. I'm keeping my promises this time. It's not easy taking a man's life.
How do you deal with it?
You look at it logically, without emotion, you compartmentalize.
How do you do that?
Used to do it by drinking.
What he's just said there was straight facts, all of it.
You guys know something I don't. I'd like to be in the know.
Yeah, he should be in the know. Everybody else is, aren't they? I've got to say there, though, what he was saying about taking a man's life, it's not easy. Now, I mean, I'm never going to take no one's life. But I understand where he's coming from, mate. Whether it's necessary or not, it can't be easy. Knowing that you're going to end somebody's life must be one of the hardest things ever. And the guy was saying, look, he evaluated it all in his head, mate. Going in there, seeing the barrel to his head, listening to the conversation. He had no choice but to use deadly force. Now, he's not lying. You know, sometimes you see programs like this, the alter the records, they say things here and there to make it look like it was justified. It was justifiable. He literally saved his life. It looked like he was about to get killed. And like he said, he's done it twice before and it don't make it any easier. The way he used to deal with that is by drinking. Obviously, Scott on his side, he's not killed anybody yet. Scott seems to be the only alpha. He's probably one of the only wolves that we've seen that has not actually gone and actually hurt someone. The only thing he's done is by Liam, who wasn't even in last episode. That is like the worst thing Scott has done.
Have you guys done something like this before?
Something dangerous or something idiotic?
It's about.
Couldn't get paid by the benefactor until he had proof that you guys were dead. So the idea is, what if you kill someone on the dead pool, but you can't send the proof?
So if he wants visual confirmation,
He's gonna have to come get it himself.
Get him in trauma too. Start another IV and push a unit of epi. Clear! Time of death. 21:02 hours.
Oh. Yo, they've gone to the extreme. I thought what they was going to do is just like maybe lie somebody on the floor, put blood all over, and you know, like fake blood, put a gun to the side of him or stab wound, get the makeup department going. Fuck me, mate. They've gone to the proper extreme, sent Scott into the hospital, flatlined. They flatlined before, haven't they? I mean, the time of death, I like it. That's a good name for the episode because he just said it then. But I've got to give credit where it's due, mate. Absolutely love it. They have gone to a proper extreme, making it look so real that if he does want that confirmation, he will come down. I would say it's going to be a rookie move about before if he come down to get it. But this one, in a hospital, making it look legit, that is very clever. Oh, she's at Derek's now, mate. She's left the hospital. He's catching the feels, isn't he, mate? Literally.
What are you doing?
Protecting my investment. Why aren't you healing?
Some wounds take longer.
Show me your eyes.
You just saw them.
Show me your real eyes.
Uh,
Now, why don't you tell me what's really going on?
Yo, mate. He's gone all in, Scott. Wait, mate. She's not even in the loop. Yo, he's gone all
are you
in.
guys totally sure about this?
This is a terrible idea. Do you want us to do it without you?
What happens while I'm out? Am I gonna feel anything?
It might feel like you're dreaming.
Good dreams or bad?
I suppose that depends on you.
I still hate this plan.
Fucking, she knows it, mate. She acted well then. She had me convinced.
Significantly terrifying. He looks dead. Is that enough to keep a werewolf alive?
Enough for an alpha. 5 minutes.
What happens after that?
He dies.
That's got to be obvious, Melissa. Come on now. Yo, she had me convinced, mate. Her acting was really good. I definitely thought that she didn't know that he was doing this plan. Because I was going to say, when he wakes up, she's going to be fuming. If that was my mum, as soon as I open my eyes, I'd be getting knocked back out, literally. As soon as I woke up, hi mum, smack, mate. She would take me right out. She put me back in that coma, literally. You know what I mean? So that was interesting. She sold it well. She had me convinced anyway. I did not expect it. But I'm loving it, mate. I do think the benefactor is going to come down. They convinced me that it looks like a proper death. You know, they got the whole hospital in there, calling time of death, shocking him. And obviously it's hard to beat on the monitor, but it beats when she holds it. Interesting. Not going to look too far into it. I feel like Kira's going to absolutely try and zap him though, and it's not going to work the first time around, and they're going to be panicking. Oh, here we go.
That's your assassin speak?
I said he's dead. Tell him number 1 on the list is dead. I killed him. And if the wire transfer isn't completed in 40 minutes...
That was obvious.
No glowing eyes, no healing.
Smell, hearing, speed, everything.
Strength?
I could still want to fight.
Her scar's sick, you know, around the neck. I'm loving that.
God, you cheated. That's cheating.
I won. When you're a human facing off against the supernatural, you need to bend the rules a little bit.
Oh, he's belling him up off his watch.
I'm here. You ready?
Of course we are, mate. Oh, is this Scott got into a new thing now? Do you know what I mean? He's dreaming. But your Kate come flying down here now.
Catch. That's why you're team captain.
Oh, it's a list.
Why me? Because you're the alpha.
I'm not a murderer.
But you are a predator.
But we don't have to.
Oh no, he's alive.
Scott, please.
Hey. Mate, are they trying to get Scott to become a killer? Well, all of them have died, haven't they? The chemist, the orphans. Can't remember what the first one was called. Stars is ringing. She's putting it down now, innit? Oh, someone's left something else in there. Look at this. Reckon Peter's here.
I gotta buy a better safe.
Mate, I was going to say, surely that safe is supernatural proof, considering they're supernaturals. You know, I wasn't having that she was going to whip the door open, but she just pulled the handle and it just unlocked. And what? Well, except adoption papers. I don't know, mate. So did her other dad adopt her? Did he know she was adopted? It's interesting, actually. I'm interested. She's got an iPhone. It's the first time we've seen an iPhone in this show. Usually they all have Androids. Look at this. Got an advertisement for a watch.
Why are we doing this? Why are we asking them to fight these kinds of fights?
Because otherwise we'd be asking them to run and hide.
Is that supposed to look like that?
No, it's not.
Where is that?
It's the roof. Someone's gonna have to check it out.
I'll go.
I can't let you leave here with that.
Maybe you won't have a choice. I think I could take you.
You've heard rumors that I'm not as strong as I used to be.
Red. Oh. Thought he was going to do some red eyes. Know when you're fucking defeated.
You couldn't read it.
Oh, he's sick, innit? He's absolutely sick, mate. Know when you're defeated, innit? Don't challenge that shit. You're not going to win. Oh, it's someone.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Followed you. Honey, you come up here every weekend, sometimes even during the week. And as far as I can tell, there's not a boy involved, so I really have no clue what you're up to. Do you know her?
She's your sister. Oh, mate. Full name and everything. Surname got sent out. His claws have changed now, was it? He didn't have his claws out last time.
That's why you're the alpha. There's something different, isn't there?
Yeah, he's got extra teeth.
Fangs.
Yeah. Visualized it.
During the quarantine.
He sounds like he's dead again. Who is it now? The same guy that's killed him.
Someone did something to it.
Berserker. Look at it. Kate's here. Oh, interesting. Now, I did notice that Scott had extra teeth there, mate. Literally, he had 2 extra on the top of his mouth. And obviously, he's saying that. He's wondering if it's making him more evil and vicious. Possibly, you know, like, this is interesting here with Scott, what we're trying to do here. It's kind of like we're pushing him down the avenue of trying to take somebody out, trying to kill somebody. You know, that's what alphas do, they're kind of saying. I like Peter as well, you know, he said you can't leave with that file. She wanted a little scrap. He obviously shown that he's still strong, and then he was like, mate, I never said that you couldn't read it though, you know, get it open, whip it out, have a look, you know. Interesting. Also, I've obviously watched it so far to season 4 and stuff, but has Scott broke his jaw at some point in his life? Because he does have a, like, when I was looking in the mirror there, when I was looking at his teeth, it looked well dominant. You know what I mean? Like, I could see it. Like, has he kinked it or something? Has he been in an accident? Like, he looks totally fine, obviously, the guy, but I just noticed it, like, massively there, and I've seen it, obviously, throughout the series. It don't bother me. Like, he looks totally fine, but I'd be interested to know, like, has he been involved in some sort of thing before?
Power's out in the whole building. I lost all the cameras.
Stay with Scott. Text me if you see or hear anything.
I don't like guns.
That's because you never learned to use one.
Or because I've been shot repeatedly.
It isn't just about learning how to point and shoot.
Why's that?
Because an average person can move 21 feet in 1.5 seconds. If they have a knife, they can gut you before you can pull and fire.
These are going to sleep together, mate.
So, yeah.
Let me try again.
That's what I was saying Styles should have done last episode when he put it close to him. The gun was too close, he could have twisted it. Hey.
Learning to bend.
Baby Malia.
There's nothing in there.
Cost me a lot of money to get that file.
You got ripped off.
You only heard one side of the story.
Oh, mate. Peter absolutely bullshits his side. I mean, obviously I want to hear it, but it's going to be all one-sided to him. Oh, proper left hook there, didn't she? She's well knocked out. Look.
You're not worried, are you?
Just thinking. We've never actually been on a real date.
Yo, she's been knocked out though, mate. The minutes are ticking down as well. She needs to wake Scott up. Interesting.
The power doesn't go out very often in this hospital. No.
Would that mean all ventilators would go off? People on life support?
Come on, Arjun, answer the phone. Why are you not answering the phone?
Styles right.
Get out of the way, Styles.
Then what do you want with the body?
I wish I could tell you.
She wants it for her own.
Murdered people. Not killed, murdered.
There were extenuating circumstances. Yes, I've done horrible, terrible things. And so have a lot of people. And there's a dead pool with your name on it.
But not yours.
Here we are. Did he know that?
True. How does the bad guy prove that he's not so bad?
What could you ever do for me?
What's he
Help
done?
you find your mother. I don't have a name yet, just a particularly interesting alias. She's called the Desert Wolf.
Oh, mate, I'm well excited. Who expected that, mate? Not me. Imagine seeing that. Imagine seeing that.
Kitsune, technically.
Oh, so before obviously we just dive right into this game. Kate wants Scott's body for her own reason, not because she's a benefactor. She wants it for something. What would she want it for, me? That's interesting itself. Another thing is that yes, okay, Peter's not the benefactor. Well, he said he's not. I'll take it for face value. I actually don't think he is. I don't know how his name's not on the list. I don't know who's paid off. Yeah, I just don't know why his name's not on the list. But he said that he spent a couple of thousand to get some information, you know, a bit of kindness to help Malia find out who her mum is. But he always does something so that it helps him as well. And, you know, he doesn't know who this is. So kind of like, yeah, he might be helping Malia, but he's helping himself. He's gaining that information. You know, it's like kill two birds with one stone. Find something for you, find something for me. He wants to know who she actually is. You know, he never knew Malia was his kid until obviously Lydia went into his mind and extracted that information from, was it Talia that told him? She took that memory out of his head. He wants to know why, and he can't remember who the mum is.
So just because he's helping Malia doesn't mean that he's not got his own little plan on the side. Do you know what I mean? He tried to cut a deal with Kate. I'm assuming she accepted it. I don't see why she wouldn't. He's an asset to her, considering all she kind of wanted to do was to be able to control the shift. You know, she wanted that. He offered, and he also wanted to find out who the benefactor was himself. You know, he's also now trying to team kind of with Malia a little bit, get her on the side, gain a bit of trust. He's working his way around the houses, isn't there? And obviously wants to find out who the mum is. I do as well, mate. A female woman, older Coyote. You love to see it.
Grandma died in Aiken House.
But after the things she said and the way she acted,
He thought she was crazy. Why would she want her ashes in here?
she left instructions to have them spread across the lake. Because she wanted you to do it when you turned 18.
Do you reckon she's going to waffle to her when she throws it in?
Mom,
Not here.
these aren't Grandma's ashes. It's mountain ash.
You're not going to kill me.
And I'm not gonna let you take his body.
Okay, well, obviously you guys have a lot to talk about, so maybe I saw some coffee, a vending machine outside.
Take the berserkers and go. Kate.
He's getting slapped. I thought he was going to get stabbed then. I don't think he's going to die, though. Thought he was going to get knocked out, though.
Catch.
Do that.
He's a killer now.
Let me help you.
Get a Scott, mate. Is Kira flickering in his head there? Yeah, well. Imagine he takes her out. Oh no, he's waking.
It's your mother. She's hurt.
Oh, fair play. She tried. Try fighting it.
He's still alive.
Thank God.
Are they part of it or what? I don't know, man. I'm guessing.
If you can help me find my mother, I don't think I care.
Yeah, you might be related to him, but you're not like him.
Right before we got in the car, my mother, my adoptive mother, I guess, we got in a huge fight. I don't even remember what it was about, but I remember what I said. I said, I wish you were all dead.
Killing doesn't run in a family.
Maybe it does in mine.
She's just put more information on the board. That's interesting. Derek as well, mate. Is he just laying in bed having a kip? Yeah, mate. Wonder what he's thinking.
My mom was being taken to a hospital in Palo Alto. They actually put her in a helicopter.
I actually have to go back to the hospital, too. They want to do a bunch of tests, since it's kind of officially dead.
I guess Liam's dead.
Not that I know exactly who the benefactor is,
They
but
must have come there.
we might know a lot more about him now. Who has the power to know when someone's dead, but doesn't need to see the body to know what happened?
This is the last thing your grandmother wrote down before she died. Don't even know why I kept it, because it's basically nonsense.
This isn't nonsense, Mom. It's
Cold
code.
again. Another fucking cold, mate. Yo. Right. What did Scott say then? He said, who's able to figure out, no, somebody's dead without having to visualize them, that they're not dead? That's what he said. Did he say something? Basically, he was saying, mate, who knows somebody's not dead? Who knows somebody's dead without them having to see the body? So, like, Lydia, if somebody, like, if I was dead, she would know. You know, she's a banshee, she'd sense it. Oh, somebody's died. But if I'm not dead, she wouldn't know I've died, so she wouldn't have to come. I don't know. To me, they kind of reference that Lydia was the one that was killing people, but I'm not having that. Maybe it's around, I don't know. It confused me, that. It's got me lost in that. Lost in translation, mate. That little scene there that he referenced Lydia, I didn't really click the way, obviously, they might have wanted us to. I don't know what's going on with Lydia, right? So, that whole boathouse is full of white mountain ash, and she just threw some down, and it just, what did it do? Where did it go? I thought she threw it in the lake and it didn't go in the lake or something, and she's like, mate, this is full of mountain ash. And then now she's saying, are you sure that grandma's not dead? You know, like, she's saying that you think she's dead, but I don't think she is, mate. She left this letter, it's a code, I've got to decipher it. Told me to give it when you was 18. If she is alive, what's she doing? Where's she disappeared to? Why is she hiding? You know, like, she's been gone for ages. That, again, is really interesting. What's Meredith got to do with that? Like, yes, she said that she knew who Meredith was, but she didn't even tell us at all why she knows who she is.
What connection has she got to her? How does she know first and second name? Why is there a picture of her in the house? Unless Lydia's related to her. And that her grandma is some sort of relation to Meredith. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it's a dad's side or something like that. And the Banshees runs in the family. Maybe the grandma's a Banshee. Maybe Meredith is some sort of descendant of that and she's part of Lydia's. I don't really know what's going on with that. I also know is like Lydia's always involved in an exciting storyline. Surely keeps me guessing. I always try and figure out what's going on. Like I said, Scott's comment right at the very end threw me. He did say something like, you know, maybe we learned more about the benefactor than they thought or something like that. And basically, I think he was kind of referencing that it was maybe a banshee that is the actual benefactor, because for a normal person to know that somebody's dead, you would have to come and see the body. For a banshee, they wouldn't have to see the body because they would know that they're still alive. And obviously, if they come to the hospital or wherever they are in the world and someone's trying to convince them that Scott's dead, they would know. They could sense it, that no death has happened. So they wouldn't have to come and get a visual confirmation of the body because they would know that Scott's still alive. So that is, I think, what he's trying to reference, that a supernatural may be involved in this sort of thing. I also like to stand off between Kate and Chris. You know, it was decent. Kate wanted the body for her own reason. She wanted to come and get Scott and take her for her own use. What was it? I still need to know if she took any information off Violet before she was killed as well. Did she spill any of the beans? You know, what does Kate know? The Berserkers there was in as well. Liam, you know, not stopping, still going, still fighting. What's happened to him? Kira said as well, they're going to have to explain to his dad what's going on. Did he get badly hurt? Because obviously last time we seen him, he done like a flip and landed on them onto that cage, and he jumped in midair and he was coming down, and I thought he was going to get stabbed or something, but then he just caught me, I hadn't seen him. But her mum looked in a bad way as well, but hopefully she's still alive and she you know, makes it through. We did say that she's been air transported, helicopter to a new hospital, and she's going to have to go with them. But again, very interesting. There's quite a lot of action going on here as well. And Peter, he's always trying to get info in there, you know. He's saying to Malia he'll help her find the mum, but he wants it as well for his own selfish needs. That's what he does, mate. You know, he's just said, thank God Scott's alive at the end. So it makes me think that he's not the benefactor, because after Scott was saying that, I feel like they would have already known that was just new information towards him. So really exciting, mate. Honestly, it got me guessing. That's all I want. I don't want to know the whole story. I just want to be trying to pick the pieces of the puzzle up until we get to the final episode, and then it all gets revealed. Okay, and that's going to wrap up today's episode. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Very, very interesting. So we did see Scott pretend to kill himself. I actually thought his mum didn't know as well, mate. She was acting really good. She sold it to me anyway, mate. I thought that she was absolutely devastated that Scott had passed away. She was crying. She sold it really good. I kind of thought that the person that called his, you know, the time is like 1:20, time of death, he might have been involved in it, but then he would have already had his visual confirmation, wouldn't he? So he definitely, it's definitely not him. I kind of thought it might have been somebody in the hospital. That's why Scott obviously took himself there. But the benefactor didn't show. They gave him 40 minutes. He didn't show. So now I'm swaying on the supernatural side that it might be someone part of Lydia's family, a descendant or something, a banshee that is the benefactor. But it still wouldn't explain to me why they're obviously going around trying to kill all the supernaturals. Like I said, I would love it to be someone that we know, just to make the story a bit more impactful. You know, we could kind of put two and two together and think, oh yeah, mate, that makes total sense why they'd want to go and kill that person and that person. I know that Malia was saying to Peter, you're a killer, and he's like, mate, I only kill people that deserved it. You know, some people set the house on fire, went after him, killed him, you know, standard. I got my own revenge. I'm not going around killing innocent people and killing people that have done me wrong, pretty much. You know, he had a little bit of justification, so you can kind of understand where he's coming from, whether you agree with it or not. It makes sense in his head, and you can kind of see why he's thinking that way. Now, actually, I like how obviously she's took that information and she's pinned it up onto Styles' board, and she's not really, like, I don't know, they wasn't really close this episode. She's still giving him the cold shoulder and stuff, but she come and, you know, she kind of put some more information towards the case, so to speak, because she's saying that she might be more like a dad than she wants to admit. You know, last thing that she said to her family, there's a hope they die or something, which is devastating, really, isn't it? Imagine those actually being the last words, and then he actually did pass away. You'd be absolutely wounded, wouldn't you, that he said something so hurtful. And maybe that is eating her up inside as well. But Peter said that he's going to try and help her find a mum, which I'm very, very excited about, you know. I would like some older supernaturals in the show. Yes, they don't have to be in the main cast.
could be used the way Peter is. I love the way he's used, honestly. He's in and out, he shakes it all about me. And, you know, he ruffles those feathers, and I'm excited. Obviously, he's working with Kate, and he's trying to use Malia as well, trying to find a mum. He's trying to acquire all this knowledge. He wants to know what memory was taken away from him. Maybe this alpha, or this coyote female, is a big dog, you know what I mean? Maybe she's massive, maybe she's really strong. And we still don't know why Talia took that memory from him. You know, it's got to be impactful. Why did she take it away? I understand she took the Nematon away maybe from Derek because she didn't want him to remember this. If that was the case, that would have made total sense, you know. Him and Paige, what happened? If she was like, oh, I want to take that memory away from Derek, you'd be like, you know what, that makes total sense. You know, you don't want him to suffer as a young kid. But this one, taking the memory away from Peter, having a kid, and, you know, he not knowing that he's a dad, that's pretty brutal, isn't it? And there's got to be a bigger story behind that, and I'm excited to obviously see. Now, like I said, the Benefactor is still dashing out the dollar. There's still loads of names on the hit list. I'm excited to see what's going on with this police officer, mate. His name's on the list. You know, Jordan, I think his name was. Is he called Jordan Parrish? What powers does he possess? Hopefully it's something new and fresh in the show that we get brought in. Like I said, Lydia as well, I'm well confused what's going on with her family. She said that her grandma was supposed to be dead for years, but apparently she's thinking that she might still be alive now. Mum said to give her grandma's urn to throw into the lake when she turned 18, and she's opened it up and it's mountain ash, and she's got a code to decipher. Madness. Derek as well, you know, he's getting it on me. He's getting a little crush going. She's kind of helping, you know, trying to teach him how to react to guns and one-on-one combat, so to speak. Then he got out of bed right at the very end, and he went and stood and stared at all the guns. Again, that's interesting. What's that referencing? Who knows, mate? But I'm excited to see what we do with Derek. He's never really been given a full-on hardcore story, has he? Yes, season 1 he got given it, but it was kind of Scott's season, him transitioning over, and Derek was used as an alpha, and that is the reason why he was in it. But ever since then, Derek's never really had a sole-focused story. It's always been used, I would say, sporadically. Again, you know, he's never been... I think he's in it as much as, like, Lydia is, and where I feel like he's got potential to be massive. You see what I mean? This story's going on about his family right now, but Derek's really not in many of the scenes. We're focusing on Peter. Again, very interesting. I do like how Kate come as well, though, tries to take the body. Her and Chris had another fight. Chris had a chance to pull the trigger, and he didn't. And Kate actually backed off as well. You know, he's like, go. And she did. So, it's mad, innit? Who would have thought that Chris would still be in season 4 after watching season 1? The last... Well, it's not the last Sergeant standing now. Kate's come back. But it's mad, innit? Actually mad, me. Outlasted Alison. That's crazy as well. Still thinking that is absolutely crazy. But that is where we currently are. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please smash the like. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.